The title, at least the Game 81 review part of this, is at least a little bit a lie. I would much rather talk about Gabe Landeskog. Avs lose 5-4 to the LA Kings. Look, the Avs game is what it is. They rested almost all of their star players, and credit to a handful of Avs that stepped up in their absence. Brock Nelson with 2 goals, Valentin Shushkin with a multi-point night. Huge shout-outs to Sam Malinsky, who also scored a big goal as a depth defenseman moving well up the lineup. The game itself, the objective was for the Avs to not get hurt, and that objective was accomplished. So, good job. I don't really think there's anything more to dive into on the game itself. Instead, perhaps the best player, and certainly the most important Avalanche player playing in a game last night, was Gabe Landeskog playing for the Colorado Eagles. This was his second straight game for the Eagles, and frankly, he looked really good. He picked up 2 points, a goal, and an assist in that game and helped the Eagles to a win. They won both games with him in the lineup, and while the points are nice, and I'll show you those plays in a minute, more importantly was Landeskog's engagement and the way that he played. Obviously, it's been 3 years since he'd played a competitive hockey game, and there were major concerns about how his knee would handle getting back into real action. It looked great. And not just he's skating fine, he's looking fine, he was willing to engage in contact. More complicated skating moves, things like mohawks, etc., did not seem to bother him at all. And maybe most importantly, after each game, he said he felt great. So things are looking pretty good for Landy. And if I'm honest, for a guy who missed 3 years of playing hockey, dude played pretty well too. Looked solid on the penalty kill, looked solid in board battles, was even winning face-offs with some consistency. Obviously, that's the AHL and not the NHL level. There's going to be a big step up there when Landy returns, and by the looks of it, he's going to return. But things are looking pretty optimistic. Anyway, in tonight's Eagles game, they're down 3-1 with less than 7 minutes to play, and while Gabe isn't wearing the captaincy for that team, he still acts like one, and he's able to spark the comeback for the Eagles. There's no highlight reel plays here, but that's not what you're looking for out of Landeskog right now. First off, look where he's set up initially, right to the front of the crease. There's no fear there, there's no awkwardness. He's right back in his home. He knows what he's doing down there, and this puck is going to get rimmed in behind the net. Gabe isn't there to collect it, but he's immediately pestering his opponent who has the puck. A help collapse is able to force a board battle along the wall where he steps in and simply outmuscles everybody for this puck. Just outworks them and gets it to a teammate. He's going to pick up the secondary here. A nice finish from up top. Gabe is back. Certainly seems strong enough to be able to handle the NHL the way he manhandled that puck against AHL competition. And more importantly to me is the goal that he scores to tie this game. These are the types of goals that maybe the Avs haven't been scoring quite enough this year. Landeskog right in front on the power play, and he is able to work in deep first of all, but he goes right back to his spot. He's always available as an option, but maintains that around the net presence, whether it's behind, in front, to the side, wherever. You even see him muscling his way back into position here to be ready. And while the Avs do have a decent amount of tip goals this year, what they don't have is a good amount of good bounce goals by being in the right position. This big bomb is going to come from outside. Landy's going to be there. It's going to bounce off of his thigh. He doesn't make a skill play, but by being in the right position, by winning a positional battle, he gets rewarded, and it's his first goal in forever. Yes, that is not high skill. Yes, that is not fancy, and that's exactly why it's important. That's the version of Gabe Landeskog that is going to help the Avs a lot. Get to the dangerous areas, be willing to able to play physical. If a puck hits you, you're ready, you're in action, you're at the front of the crease. That's going to mess up other teams. Landy has that happen. He doesn't even seem to be in any sort of pain. He doesn't seem to be struggling. He's celebrating his first goal in well over 1,000 days. I don't even know when his last goal was, so it's a lot of time. Look, if the Avs get a version of Gabe that is capable of playing strong physical hockey, every other team in the playoffs should be very afraid. That's why I wanted to talk about Gabe instead of that meaningless game. We'll leave it there. Thank you for watching this video review. I am Rudo, and I am ready for Gabe.